Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're live right now with our Governor of Virginia, Mr. Glenn Youngkin. Good morning, Gov. How are you?
I'm great. Great to be with you. And what a great week. We've got elections, so we need to get everybody out to vote.
Whoa, yes, yes. Are you excited?
I am. Listen, we've had a lot of work that's gone into these campaigns. We've got great candidates that are running with the Republican tickets. And Clarence, I'm excited to put our record to voters. We've had a great 2 years, and we've created 230,000 jobs and reduced the cost of living with $5 billion of tax relief. We've backed the law enforcement. We're seeing crime addressed in some of our toughest areas. And we've worked hard to make sure that students have high expectations and parents are deeply engaged in their children's education. And one of the things that I know will most impact Virginia is the work we're doing in behavioral health and supporting those that need help now. You know, one of the areas that I know we've all focused on is supporting our veterans. And I'm so excited to see the great progress there. So this is the track record that we are bringing to voters. And I'm asking everybody to elect a team in Richmond that can work with me so that we can further accelerate and get Virginia where I know she should be, the best place to live, work, and raise a family.
Wow. Well, you know, and that's the key word right there is working with you. How does that happen in Richmond? What is that key component that gets people to work across the aisle?
Well,
from a leadership perspective.
Yeah, Clarence, first of all, we've got to invite common sense into the room. And there's been a number of topics that I believe are really good for Virginians. We've spent time explaining those issues to folks. And unfortunately, politics oftentimes gets in the way. And our budget is a great reflection of that. In all candor, we should have been signing our last budget back in March. It had $1 billion of tax relief in it on top of the $4 billion of tax relief that we had the year before. It had raises for teachers. It had investment in law enforcement. It had investment in transforming our behavioral health system. But unfortunately, I really felt that the Senate, which is currently controlled by Democrats, really put politics over people and delayed and delayed and delayed. And the budget that we ended up signing was one that we would have signed back in March or April. And Virginians really suffered as a result. So those are the topics that I think we should be able to put down. That's why I'm asking folks to elect a team that will work with me and not against me. In so many places, we can find common ground. I was really pleased that we were able to come together and sign legislation in our first year that did empower parents to make decisions for their children, put parents at the head of the table as opposed to out of the room. We were able to sign 22 bills this last legislative cycle to kick off our transformation of behavioral health. It was so important because we have so many Virginians that need to get help right now. They can't wait a week, a month, or a year. And so we put funding and transformed the way the legislative framework works. But there are other areas, Clarence, that I'm real frustrated with. I believe that if you deal drugs in Virginia and someone dies, that you should be charged with a felony homicide. You dealt a drug that killed somebody, and you should be held accountable for that. And again, I'm frustrated that the fact that the current Senate that's controlled by Democrats wants to vote for drug dealers over victims. These are the kinds of things I'm hoping that we can change going forward. And that's why I'm asking Virginians to elect a team that can work with me and not against me.
Okay, understood that. Now, that behavioral health piece, I know, of course, I have a lot of friends in that business. And a lot of the comments that I'm hearing is that it's a lot of bureaucracy still involved. It's hard to get the licensing. It's hard to get different things that they need to get the actual help to the people. Is there a way that we can kind of make that a little easier?
Well, the short answer is yes. The short answer is yes, Clarence. We start out with a real recognition that our behavioral health system is overwhelmed. And coming out of the pandemic where Virginia was locked down by the previous administration, and we had our churches closed and our schools closed and our businesses were closed, we've seen more challenges in the world of behavioral health than we can possibly imagine, and particularly with our young people. Our young people are suffering mightily, and we've got to get to work. And so the Right Help Right Now transformation plan for our behavioral health system has been and will be critically important. And the first step is to build capacity So we're investing in mobile crisis teams and crisis receiving units. We're investing in workforce so that we have many more providers, and we are streamlining regulations so that we can help people serve the folks that need it. So the net of all of that is we are going to increase capacity and services that are so important to make sure that Virginians get the help they need when they need it, which is usually the day they call for help.
The day they call. Yeah. That's amazing because, hey, looking back at what happened in Maine, that could have been prevented. That actually could have been prevented. And even the situation that happened in Virginia Beach is kind of the reason why I'm actually on radio now. That could have been prevented if we know how to know, if we know the signs, okay, that somebody is in distress, then we could call for that help right away.
And Clarence, to that point, one of the big efforts right now is around 988. And so we all know 911, which is where we call when we have an emergency. And we have rolled out nationally across the country, and Virginia has been at the forefront with rolling out 988, which is a number to call when you are contemplating self-harm or harming others to get help immediately. And it is an easy number to remember, 988. We're receiving 8,000 calls a month in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And we are at the top of the list for receiving those calls and responding to them very quickly to get people the help they need immediately.
988. This is the first I've heard of that, Gov. I didn't hear it. I didn't know that. That is good information to know. And we'll make sure we'll get that out on our shows, our podcasts, and everything like that. So what are your biggest 3 challenges going in 2024? What is your goals?
Well, I've been very consistent that in order to make Virginia the very best place to live and work and raise a family, and I do believe Virginia should be that shining city on the hill that we know she can be, and we're on a path to get there. At the top of the list, we've got to continue to reduce the cost of living in Virginia, and that is going to be to continue our tax relief program. We've had $5 billion of tax relief, and we've got to continue to bring down the burdens on Virginians. That $5 billion of tax relief is over $2,000, over $2,000 for a typical Virginia family, and over $4,000 for our vets because we no longer tax their retirement up to $40,000. So important to keep our veterans here. So we're going to continue to work to bring down the cost of living. We're going to continue to work to make our schools the best. And that includes investing in teachers. It includes investing in choice within the public school system so that families have alternative pathways for their kids. And it includes continuing to invest in learning loss recovery. Clarence, we put $418 million in this last budget so that our 3rd through 8th graders can receive intensive tutoring, those that are at risk or are failing math and reading. And we're rolling that out right now, and it's going to make a big difference in the future of our children. We're going to continue to support law enforcement and then finally behavioral health. And as I said, it's such an important area for us to continue to focus.
And, and I'm glad you brought that point up because what I'm seeing is a lot of these kids are lacking in mathematics and science. And I'd like to see a little bit more emphasis in the public school system in the math and science and technology areas. And because you already know where we're going. This is the world of technology now.
Yeah.
And I just see it just helping kids with their homework and different things like that. That math seems to be a big problem. So I'm glad you said teachers are going to get some money.
Well, Clarence, one of the things that we've been able to achieve over the course of the last 22 months is a cumulative 12% raises for teachers.
Awesome.
These are incredibly challenging jobs, and we want to make sure that they are rewarded and compensated appropriately. But to your point on math, Virginia schools were 44th in the nation in getting children back in the classroom during the pandemic. There were just very, very bad decisions made by the previous administration and school boards all over the Commonwealth, recognizing that as hard as the teachers worked, learning from a 12-inch screen did not prepare, particularly our young students, for the future. And we've got major building blocks that we have to address. And that's why our All-in Virginia tutoring program is so important. It's 3rd through 8th graders. And to your point again, nearly 2/3 of Virginia's 3rd through 8th graders are at risk or are failing their math proficiencies. And if they don't have those building blocks, they're going to really be challenged. Over half of our 3rd through 8th graders are failing or at risk of failing their reading proficiency. So we've got to get on this, not just that they can catch up, so that they can actually get ahead and thrive. And those are the building blocks needed for all of our STEM and the great opportunities that are being created in Virginia as we add 230,000 jobs over the last 22 months. You know, Clarence, we went from the bottom of the list in job growth to the top of the list in job growth just in 22 months. And so these are opportunities that I want to make sure that Virginia's kids are prepared to take and thrive in.
You know, and I tell you, man, as I go up 64 heading to Richmond, you know, of course, I love Virginia. I'm not from Virginia. I'm from New Jersey, but I love Virginia. It's a beautiful state, and I sit back and I wonder sometimes what's the reason why God blessed me with a relationship with the leader of the state, the governor. Okay. And I kind of see now, we are in the process of making this an awesome state.
Yeah.
Especially here in Virginia Beach, so I have to commend you, Governor. So far, so good. I mean, you're doing an awesome job, man. And I understand the challenges you have, I always say this because people ask me all the time, are you Democrat or Republican? I said, I'm neither. I'm a solutionist. Okay. I'm a solutionist. And you know who gave me that title? Secretary James.
Did she?
Yes, she says, no. Because I said at first a strategist. She says, no. You're a solutionist. You look for the solutions. And that's one thing I see in you, Gov, is a guy, a leader, number one, that deals with solutions. Because it's something you always say to me, is you just say, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. And I guess that comes from being a CEO of one of the largest hedge funds in the world.
Well, Clarence, I think it comes from a couple places. One, I start my day every morning in prayer, and I first thank the Lord for placing me in this position, and then second of all, I ask Him for help because we have to tackle tough challenges every single day. These are complicated issues. There's no single magic wand that will solve challenges for our kids in education in Virginia or solve crime tomorrow or make our economy grow or solve behavioral health challenges. These are complicated systems that require massive transformation, and therefore we all have to come together for solutions. And I think common sense is at the heart of all of it. And when we can come together around common sense solutions, boy, we can really change the world. And then when we pray over it, we can move mountains. And that's what I've seen us doing, is moving mountains. It's really been exciting.
You know what? I like that. That's what we're doing. We're moving mountains. We're moving mountains. And part of that moving mountains is cooperation to make Virginia what it's supposed to be. Because I'm going to do my work. I'm going to do my part in helping you get the support you need up there in Richmond this November, man. But I know you got a hard schedule today. Man, oh man, oh man. Tell us just one thing before we go that you see positive in 2024 in the state of Virginia.
Well, what I see positive is Virginians, and I'm inspired every day by the aspirations of Virginians, by the grit of Virginians, by the heart of Virginians, and I see it all over. Whether I'm in Virginia Beach, or I'm in Southwest Virginia, or I'm up in Northern Virginia, or all around Richmond, or down in South Side. I see it everywhere that Virginians carry with them this special spirit, yes, of freedom and patriotism, this spirit of camaraderie, the spirit of aspiration, the spirit of family, and the spirit of faith. And it is exciting to see. I think our best days are ahead of us. That's why I'm asking everybody, go out and vote, exercise the most important right we have as Americans and Virginians, and that's to elect our leaders. Get out and vote. And then I ask you to vote in a group that will work with me so that we can continue to work for all Virginians and make tomorrow so much better than today. And I just want to thank you again, Clarence, for having me with you on your show. God bless you. And God bless all that you do for the Hampton Roads community and for Virginia.
Oh, my pleasure, man. And thank you for coming on this morning. Hopefully we'll get you back cooking on the TV show.
I look forward to
Poolside.
cooking with you. You know that. We can cook up a lot of stuff together.
Yes. And this time have a little bit more time, you know? Remember last time we were kind of rushed going through it? You know, but that'd be cool.
But the meal we cooked up was special, and I look forward to doing it with you again.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, that's good, man. Well, Gov, hey, look, have a great day. Hey, Godspeed this week. It's a tough week. And I'm sure you're going to come out, as always, a winner.
Thank you. Thank you. Go out and vote.
Will do. I already did.
So did I.
All right, man. Look, we'll talk to you later, okay?
All right. God bless you. Thank you.